Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about the syntax of Excel functions. For the demo purpose, I am going to consider the function called match. Again, don't worry about what exactly this function does. We are going to learn about it in upcoming videos. For now, let's purely focus on syntax. The first thing that you notice is the function name. Most of the functions in Excel have been logically named and they will tell the user or Excel about the operation that is going to be performed on dataset. Excel offers nearly around 500 different functions and each function is designed to perform a specific task. One important thing to note here is function names are not case sensitive. Few Excel users prefer to write it in uppercase and few prefer to write it in lowercase. It is individual choice at the end of the day. Right after the function name and everything that you see between two parentheses, these are called arguments. These arguments are specific to each function and these are designed to provide inputs or information to Excel using which it is going to perform some evaluation on the dataset and give the result. Again, few important points to consider here. Not all arguments are required. Optional arguments are always enclosed in square bracket. Here in this example, the argument match type is enclosed within this square bracket. So any argument in any Excel function, if it is enclosed in a square bracket, it means it is an optional argument. If you don't provide input to this argument, Excel is smart enough to consider the default value and then perform the evaluation. But if you plan to give the input, this optional argument will offer some additional options and we can make use of that. Most of the Excel functions have at least one required argument. But there are few functions like row, column, today, which are meant to give the row number, column number and today's date. These functions do not require any arguments. The next important thing is all functions must start with equal to sign. Very important. And all the arguments of any function must be enclosed within the parentheses. This becomes highly critical when we are in process of developing highly complex functions by nesting multiple functions within each other. Each function and its argument must be enclosed within its dedicated parenthesis. The next important point is each arguments must be separated by a comma or semicolon and it purely depends upon your computer setting. And one pro tip, the moment you start adding the function in any Excel cell, you will see a box which is actually called function screen tip, which will show right below the Excel cell. This function screen tip is very helpful and it will guide us through each of these arguments in bold font and it will help us to give the input to that respective argument. So when you are in process of developing some complex functions, this functional screen tip is very helpful. Now let's jump back to Excel and see some functions with their syntax. Alright, we are back into Excel file. In this example, we are going to review two different functions and their syntax. Again, don't worry about the functions, we are just reviewing the syntax and how to give the inputs to their arguments. In the first function, we will try to extract the year out of all these dates. And in the second function, we will try to extract the user IDs out of all these email IDs. The user ID is basically the text before the @ symbol. So let's start with the first function. Since we are interested in extracting the years out of these dates, the function name itself is called year. Let's open the parenthesis to see the arguments. It has only one required argument, which is serial number, and obviously it is the cell reference where the dates are stored. Let's select A2 and then close the parenthesis and hit enter. You will get the year out of this date. Now I am not going to rewrite the same function in cell B3. Instead, what I will do is I will go to B2 cell. If you carefully observe, there is a small green color square box at the lower right corner of this cell. I am just going to take my mouse cursor over that box until it turns into plus symbol here. Hold that green color small box and then drag it to all the cells. Excel is smart enough to create the sequential formulas for all the rows. If you go to B3 cell, now you can see the cell reference has been updated to A3. If you go here, it will be A4, A5 and A6. This is the inbuilt feature in Excel. Next, we will try to extract the user IDs out of all these email IDs. What we will do is, we will keep this @ character as the reference and then we will try to extract all the text which is on the left side of this character. So obviously the function name is left, which is used to extract the left side characters. Open the parenthesis. It has two arguments. One is required and one is optional. The required argument is text, and obviously it will be the cell reference of C2. And since the second argument is optional, let's not give any input to that and see what will be the output. Let's close the parenthesis and hit enter. Let me drag this formula to all the cells. So this formula is basically trying to extract the first character of all the email IDs. So when you don't give any input to the optional argument, Excel will add the default value as 1, and that's the reason you are seeing only the first character. But this is not something we are looking for. So let me go to the D2 cell, double click and enter into the edit mode. And then to jump to the second argument, I am going to separate this argument by comma. So now you can see the number of characters is highlighted. So to extract the user ID, I can count the number of characters, which is 8 here in this case, and then hard code it as 8 and hit enter. Now the user ID gets extracted. If you drag this formula to all the cells, you will notice wrong user IDs are being extracted out of all these email IDs because each user ID is not exactly of 8 characters. So we need to modify this formula again. Double click to enter into edit mode. So instead of hard coding it as 8, we will write another function whose output will be input to this number of characters argument. That function is called search. It will basically search for any character or letter in the cell reference and then give the position of that character or letter. The function name is search. Here we are going to search the character, which is @, and since it is the text, we need to enclose it in double quotes. I will jump to next argument by adding the comma, and we are going to search this character within the text of this email ID. And since the third argument is optional, I am not going to give any input to that. I am going to subtract 1 from this. Again, don't worry about the function, we will learn it later. Close the parenthesis and then hit enter. Now you will see the output is still the same, but when you drag this formula to all the cells, you will see all the user IDs has been perfectly extracted out of email IDs. So that is how we need to add the functions and their arguments to get the desired result.